Okay, so here we are going to discuss about heat stress management. Okay, the references I have taken from the CFR and Saudi Aramco Construction Safety Manual and GI General Instructions Saudi Aramco 150.002 first aid CPR training and first aid kit. Okay, so in the brief we will discuss here outline I have mentioned here. This slide I have prepared for the training purpose actually. So you can use this slide for the delivering a training. Okay. So here objective here is you can see definitions first aid first symptoms heat stress type causes and preventions contribution factors and emergency procedure. Okay. So objective here after delivering the trainings you can ask the questions from the participants. If they answer properly it means they have understand the trainings. Okay. The definition here you can see what is the heat stress. You can say usually the result of working being performed at high temperatures like in the Gulf nowadays too much high temperatures, and if there is a temperature plus if humidity is more than 70 and 80%, it's cause too much sweating. So it's very sometimes very difficult to maintain and manage the people. And even though government they take so many preventive measures like from 12 to 3 there is no work, but even though we can see the symptoms and we can say some heat stroke also in the workforce. Okay, so illness mainly due to exposure of a persons to heat or hot environment. Okay, contributory factors may also include air humidity or decreased body ventilation due to the clothings also. If you can see in the light plants, there is a fire resistant clothing. Sometimes some clothings are very heavy and it's very difficult to manage. Okay. Nowadays in the market, the light clothing also, even in the FRCs also and arcaded also there are light clothings are available. So we can use this light clothing. Okay. So first symptoms of the heat stress is like fatigue and irritability and anxiety and decreased orientations and treating. Okay. So I can see here heat stress types: heat rash, heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. So you can say here the first symptom is heat rash. Okay. Then heat cramps and heat exhaustion, then heat stroke. We will discuss here a little detail here in the next slide. Okay. So you can see here the types heat rashes. So what is the heat rashes here? You can see like in the skin this type of this as you can see in the figures rashes. So if the worker is working in the sunlight, so you can check the other symptoms and you can consider for the heat stress. Okay. Prevention: rest frequently in the cool places and bath regularly, ensuring throw dry the skins. I will share here at the end of the slides the heat heat stress index. There is a combinations between temperature and humidity, and as for these combinations you can find the rest period of the workers in the temperature. Okay. So here the types: heat cramps. Okay, painful muscle cramps that result from losses of salts and electrolytes due to excessive sweatings. Okay, in the blood there is a mixture of salt and electrolytes. We can say sodium and potassium. So if the person, any person who is having excessive sweating, so these electrolytes it comes out through the sweatings. So due to the lacking of the salt and electrolytes, the person can be dehydrated and it can cause the heat cramps and heat stroke also. Okay, cramps usually affect the stomach, arms, and legs. These conditions usually precedes his exhaustion. Okay, prevention: drink water and have a snacks. Okay, and electrolyte replacement also you can drink every after 15 to 20 minutes. As I said earlier that at the end of the slide I will give you one heat stress index where you can see the breaks details. Okay, do not take salt tablets. Okay. Okay, you can see here heat stress type, heat exhaustion. Okay, state brought on by loss of fluid, loss drinking, excessive sweating. Okay, so you can read this one by one. And prevention is treated by taking patient to a cool places, applying cool compressors. Okay, this first aid you can provide to the persons if you can see, if you can feel the heat exhaustion. The best thing is to call the first aider, okay, and just assist the first aider, okay, or the doctor or the nurses, okay. Heat stress type, okay, still we are in the heat stress type, the end of the severe, you can say, the heat strokes where severe medical emergency which could be fatal if the person fell down and unconscious, okay. So medical emergencies will be required for that, okay. So causes of the heat stress, you can see here high temperature level. Okay, the type of clothings, as I say, if you are working in the high temperature and the humidity and wearing heavy clothings like polyesters and this, that is one of the causes for having the heat stress. Okay, and the physical activities, if a person doing more physical activities is not taking proper rest and not drinking proper water or not replacing electrolytes. Okay, low level of air movements, sometimes there is a no air in the atmosphere due to humidity and this, and high humidity level, okay. So here you can see, as I said in the earlier slide, you can see here, this heat index I have taken from the Saudi Aramco, okay. So here you can see here, okay. So danger categories and heat index, heat stress, illness symptoms, and work rest period, okay, and minimum water needed, okay. In the next slide I will show you the heat index, okay. So you see here, like caution warn, 20 to 25, the calculation is already calculated. You have to just match, you have to measure the heat, I mean temperature and humidity, then automatic calculation will come and you can match here, okay. So if heat index is in between 25 to 29, then it's less possibility for the heat stress or heat stroke, okay. So 1 cup every 20 minutes they can drink the water. Guys, one thing I want to tell you all people, I have suffered in one of the project. What happened? One person, he was dehydrated, and he did some hard work. After that, what he did, he had almost 2 liters of water at the one time, and after having that water, after drinking that water, he was unconscious and he was severely, fell down. So we brought him to the hospital, and doctor, what he said to us that after the investigation of all the things, due to dehydration, and he had too much water at the one time, cold water, so that water affected his heart. So it's very important that a person who is working in the heat and exposed, and he should not, I can say, drink plenty of water at the one time. The water drinking, you know, period should be frequently. So you can see here 1 cup. I mean 1 cup or 2 cup or 3 cup. It's okay, no problem. Every after 20 minutes, but not like 15 cups and this. It's not recommended. Okay. So as a safety personnel, what you have to do, you have to check it. Okay, and you have to remind the workers for the frequently drinking of the water. Okay. So here, if you see the heat index is 30 to 38. Here you can see. So it's in yellow. Okay. So heat cramps, possibility of the heat cramps, heat exhaustions. Okay. So here you have to give rest to the worker. I mean, they can work only 50 minutes and they can take 10 minutes rest, okay, and in the rest shelter. And one thing, you guys as a safety personnel, you should ensure that in the rest shelter, only rest shelter is not enough. I don't recommend that, because I suffer. So what you have to do, if you are making a rest shelter with the green net and this scaffolding and this all, so try to provide at least one mist fan in the each rest shelter, so, and try to provide the electric connection there, okay. So if there is a fan and with the water, that is very good, so I can say it's very good experience I have. So anywhere in my project, I never allow people just to sit in the rest shelter without any fan, There should be a mist fan, and I usually provide one mist fan, at least one or two mist fan in each shelter. It's very good, this. And it's cheap, 600 Saudi Riyal, we can purchase that one, 700 like that. Okay, so you can read this all. If the heat index is 39 to 51, so chances for heat cramps. So 30 minutes working, 10 minutes rest, and 1 cup or 2 cup every after 15 minutes. And the if the heat index is more than 52, so it's very dangerous. I can say the work should be stopped in this situation. Even though if you are allowing your people to work and heat index is 52, so you will not get any progress. I don't think they will work. So it's just, you can say they just pass the time. So here you can say 20 to 10, 1 cup every after 10 minutes. Okay. So here this heat index I have taken from the Saudi Aramco. Okay. So it's already calculated here. So you can see here air temperature in degree, and then humidity. As I said, the humidity is very important, very dangerous for having the heat stress. Very dangerous, Humidity. If more humidity, more sweatings will come. So you see here, if the temperature is 32 and if the humidity is 40, so it will become 32. Okay. So normally in the June, we can say 43 temperature, it goes mostly 43, 44, and humidity sometimes it go up to the, you can say 70, 80. So it's not recommended. That's, you see, it's already more than 52. Okay. So here you can see heat stress preventions. I have prepared in brief only that you have to arrange a campaign. You have to educate your people. There should be a proper, drinking water, rest shelters in the site, and management should support this, and then the shelters and these all the things. Okay. Okay. So here acclimate yourself to the weather period and long duration of physical activities. If experience on the job, limit your time in the hot environment to 50% on the first day. It's like you can read this all. Same here, we are in the heat stress preventions. Okay. Maintain body fluid. Okay, fluid intake must be maintained throughout the process of the physical activities. As if you are working in the high temperature, I can say you can drink cold water. As much cold water, it's good for, for the health. Sometimes people say that cold water is not benefited, but if you are working with the heat index 42, 43, at the time, if you don't take the cold water, I don't think your body will cool. So at this moment you have to drink the cold water. You have to use ice. It's no issue at all. At the starting, maybe you will feel some throat minor mild infection, but it's good for the health, I can say. Okay. So do not rely on the thrust. This is the one of the best, one of the very important thing. If you feel thrust and then if you are drinking water, it means you ill. You put yourself for having the disease and then you take the treatment. So you should not wait for feeling thirsty. If the temperature is more than 40, 35 and humidity is more, then you should make a routine and keep a bottle of thermal bottle, at least 2-liter bottle with you. And every 15 minutes you have to make a schedule and you have to drink a water. Okay. Even though if you are so busy also, but recommended. Alcohol, sodas and caffeine drink should be avoided. Okay. Diet is very important. Okay. Diet, rest, sleeping, it's very important for increasing your immunity. Okay. You can, if your immunity is strong, you can prevent that. Okay. Still we are in the prevention. Dress light, as I mentioned here earlier in the slide, that you can use light clothings. Avoid dark clothings, wearing dark clothing. Even if you are in the live plant, you can use light color like a um, light FRCs you can wear. It's available now. Nomex having light clothings. Contributing factors also sometimes vary. If a person who is low immune and more age, or new lady with the pregnant, so they are having more chances for the heat stress. Okay, so here you can see age, physical condition, type of work, work environment, exposure, time of the day, seasons, and years of the geography. Okay, so contributing factors. Okay, young and old people are more likely to suffer from the heat stress. Okay, contributing factor, physically unfit people are more likely to suffer from the heat stress. Okay, people engaged in a manual type of work are more likely to suffer from the heat stress. Okay, people working in the open area or exposed on a directional light are more likely to suffer from the heat stress. Guys, what I do in my project, uh, I, I prepared a schedule, and I explain to the management, and they do it, because if you explain to your management about the progress, you can say if you are allowing your people in the hot full day working at the sunlight, you will not get progress and you will not have any benefits. So just what to do, plan your work. Okay, if you have work in the open area, so plan your work up to 9 o'clock, try to complete that work, and after 9, definitely in the work site there are two to three types of areas. There are shaded areas also, like there is a pipe rack, so under that, if there is a backfilling and some carpentry work, so definitely there will be a shade. So explain your management. I did it, and it was effective. So they can allow the people to work in the sunlight just up to 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. After that, they can shift in the shade, and they can work there. Okay, so you have to explain them. Okay? And work rotation is also very important. Okay, you can read it all. I don't think I need to explain this one. People working during summer are more likely to suffer from the heat stress. People working in the Gulf regions area more likely to suffer from the heat stress than people in the Gulf also. Some areas are cool. So in case of heat stress, okay, what to do? Emergency procedures. Inform the foreman and site engineer immediately and send somebody to call the medical assistant. So this is just for the site safety officer. But if you are a manager, if you are a safety manager, HSC manager, and supervisor, then it's not enough for you to call the this emergency. You have to ensure that there is a system, there is a provision of first aider. I mean, certified nurses and all the facilities, clinic and all the things. You have to ensure this. Okay, and it's your duty to arrange with the management this one. Okay. So bring the before June, you can start if you are responsible in HSE. You can start it from March, April. About the heat stress management, how to manage if someone suffers, and how to call, where is the ambulance, if the ambulance is there, if there is a driver or no, and if the driver, then if the first aiders are available or not, and all the first aid materials are available or not. A ambulance should be equipped with air conditions, and there should be everything. You have to ensure this all the things. Okay. Here, just you can see descriptions and symptoms and treatment. So it is dehydration. No need to explain. You can read it. This is one of the things you can print it, and you can translate in the local language. Guys, one thing I always say in my all slides, that language is communications is very important. Because they see this is in English. Okay, so laborers, they mostly 80% labor, they don't understand English. So what you have to do, it's a little hard, but you have to do it. I do it. You translate it. You check which language they can understand. Like if you are in the Gulf, so mostly they are Indian, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, Nepalis, Sri Lanka, Filipinos. These countries people are there. So what you do, you check it, and then try to translate in their language, and then fix there, so they can, mostly in the toilet area, so they can understand this one. Okay, never try to fix it in the English. No one understand in the English. Okay. summary here. It's okay. You can read it. I don't want to make a big, video. Symptom treatment. You can read it. Okay. At the last, if you are delivering, if you are giving a training, then definitely you should ask. This is very important. Quiz. Ask them. And language is very important for the trainings. If you are English speaker and then people are from the Nepal, so you have to arrange the Nepali person who can translate your things, and they can ask them in the Nepali language or Bangladeshi or Pakistani or Indian, whatever. And if they answer properly, even in their language, so it means they have understand all the things. And training is not only solutions. The management supports and site visit is very important. If you are a responsible person, you have to visit the site almost every day, and you have to give time on site also. So you can check the people who are working in the sunlight. You can see the condition of the people. It's dangerous if someone fall from heat strokes, and if you are a safety personnel and a person fall from the suffer from the heat stress, it's not well. So you have to avoid it. Okay. Thank you very much.